did you have to sell your soul?
I mean, it's important that I spoke up about it, but it was very hard because the backlash was very, very unexpected. I mean, I had a difficult youth, you know. I never liked myself very much. I really advise everyone to just say, you know, if something hurts you. So I started becoming active in Luxembourg quite early. I remember it was around 15, 16. The reason
Years old?
Yes. The reason for it is was that I never saw people like me doing stuff like this, and I felt that representation matters and that I'm a part of Luxembourgish society, so a person like me should also make it into politics or just have her voice being heard.
Exactly.
But also, I have a little brother that has autism. And since at a young age, we learn that we need to fear the black man, you know, like this game, Wer fährt der schwarze Mann? Like, who fears the black man? And I always felt like, why do we play this? Because my little brother, I want to have him in a world where black men are not a threat, you know, so I knew that I had to fight for this better world by getting active and being involved. But yes, I had this, I remember now that I'm in my third grade. We had to do like Scooby-Doo's, like this. It's like little gadgets, kind of, to sell them in the city.
Okay.
So we had to sell them, and the one that would sell the most would go to Télévis and have the speech there.
Okay.
So I was going crazy. Like for me, I every day I
were
went.
Pumped up.
Yeah, every day I went, and I knocked on every door. I have the best. You can use it like this. You can do this. You can do this. I had the most. Like I obviously I gained the most money, but my teacher didn't choose me, but she chose another one.
Okay.
I don't know the reason. I still don't know the reason. I just know that I was mad, very mad. My parents still know this today, that how mad I was. I didn't understand because this was the condition. Like it was the condition that the best would go, and I did everything to go. So I don't know. Like this motivated me. So you see that it really started early. Like I really saw early that
there was some sort of imbalance in how you were treated versus others.
Yes, also people would assume stuff about me, like would think, oh, my parents are like this, or she can't make it here, or she will not make it far in school, you know, and I never knew why, because, there's no reason.
Exactly.
There's no reason. So, I continued. I became very, very active. I traveled a lot. I met many activists all around the world. I got very inspired. I was impressed by stories that I heard from them. Some of them have experienced stuff that it's really crazy. So I was really inspired. So I said, okay, I'm unstoppable now. I will just go for it. And I will also make my voice heard. And I will also open doors to others, because it's not just about me. It's about others also having this experience. So yes, and then I remember that all this interest in politics and everything culminated in 2016 when I had organized a session in Luxembourg. I was around 18.
Okay.
I invited 150 people from all over Europe at a huge thing. It was a budget of 70,000 euros.
Okay.
And I had 3 cents on my account. So it was all sponsored, all the money I found myself. I was super young. But this shows that I really truly believe that also young people coming from different backgrounds need to have their seat on the table, because it's about their future,
Exactly.
it's about us. So we also need to decide, we need to be part of the decision making. And then, I don't know how far you want me to go, or I can just go, right?
Well, you can continue and continue and continue.
You can stop me then if you have another question.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, so I started doing this, and then I said, cool, nice experience. It was very tough. I remember.
How was that experience with a 70,000 euro budget? How did you feel in terms of responsibility? Did you have a fear of failing, for example?
You know, like back then, like when I was that young, I didn't have a fear of failing. I was just very stressed. I couldn't even enjoy the session. It was like 5 days. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a long event.
Yeah. It was
Damn.
like 5 days, and I had organizers. They saw me crying. They saw me screaming. They saw me in crazy situations, really. Like, and I really like still today. It's my team. They are the best. So and it was a crazy experience. I remember like we invited also the not our Duke that we have now, but the future Duke. I talked to him, but like in the most chill way, because I was so tired. Like I was really tired. So I was like, very chill. And he appreciated this. But I remember that I was drinking water and I put it like down and I spilled over his shoe.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, if you invite the Duke, like the Duke family,
Yeah.
they come with police officers and like the whole troop, you know, like it's all very strict. So I remember I brought the water, so I react immediately, and you see the police officers moving, like, what is she doing? Because they didn't see that I was spilling water.
Okay.
And my parents were behind me, and they were like, "Oh my God, like what is she doing?" But he thought like it was very nice. Like we had a good discussion, and it's good. And it's also important for me to always stay myself. I don't need to pretend to be someone else.
Exactly.
No matter who is in front of me. So this is me. Just I'm very clumsy. So
You be you.
yeah. Then I continued. Then in 2017 I ran my first elections in Steinsel.
That's for city council, right?
Yeah. And I remember that people told me, don't expect too much and don't cry if you aren't gonna end up last, you know? Don't cry, don't be upset. I said, I'm not crying, I'm not expecting anything, so why would I cry? And then the results, I remember the result night, I was eating some Luxembourgish dish in a restaurant. And they were screening it on the TV, and suddenly I see my picture, and I'm like, "What?" You know, like I was so shocked. It was very cold back then, and I was feeling very hot, and I was like, "What is happening?" You know, it's crazy.
So that's the shocks because you made it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it, and believe me, the people next to me also didn't expect it. So
Okay.
they were like. And I remember there was even one, that was really not happy about it because I can say it, he thought that he would make it, you know.
Oh, so he didn't make it, but you did.
Yeah, and
and
then,
he was not happy about it.
He was not happy about it, and he started like also telling me like, but it's because you are black and you are young and people are weak to this and bullshit like this, you know.
Okay.
And it makes no sense. So for me, it made no sense that he said this to me. I remember that I felt sad by it, you know, because I was like, is it true, you know? Do people not see that I was active or like that I'm actually that I deserve my seat there, like obviously. But
So you had some doubts.
Yeah.
You had some self-doubts based on the decision, based on comments of everyone.
Exactly.
How did you handle that? Did you handle it at all, or did you just like continue your way the way you did?
You know, this was the first year, so I was still very excited. And then the year after, I was running for national elections. And I remember that one time we had a drink at the Prime Minister's place because I was in his team, and he was like, when I hear the feedback of people, I don't have the feeling that people are not happy, you know, like I get actually good feedback. What about you guys? And I was like, I got a lot of, I was already in situations that were very uncomfortable for me. And he was very also sad because like for him, he's kind of my mentor, and he gives me also a lot of advice, and he doesn't want me to be like in situations that are not good because he knows how young I am.
Yes.
So he was sad hearing this, and he said, well, like, what happened? And I was like, yeah, this one time someone came to me and said, no, it was in a conference, and someone said, I tell my children to not have children because the EU is just accepting people in, and like we just accept people from Africa, and it's not good, it's criminals, and all the kind of stereotypes you can imagine. And then after the conference was over, this woman saw me, and she came to me, and she said, it was not against you, huh? It's not against you, you are different. I said, what do you mean different? But yeah, you are different, it was not against you. I said, listen, I'm getting into the mood now. No, I said, listen, I'm half white, half black. Half of my family is from an African country. So if you say this, my mother was also a refugee herself. If you say this, you're also attacking me by it. You know, like, I'm not an exception. What is this even, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was talking to her. And then at the end, she said, yeah, it's fine. I will vote for you. And I said, no, that's not how it works. I don't want your vote. Just don't vote. I don't know, but like, just don't vote me. I don't want you. I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
And this hurted a lot, you know, like this was what you are like, okay. And then people say, oh, you're just in politics because being black in politics is now a trend. Or one time we were at the market and walking, my team, and the Prime Minister shakes hands to people he sees. This was obviously before COVID period, right? So he shakes hands.
For sure.
Yeah. He shakes hands, and then the person also wants to shake my hand. Yeah. And I do it, and then immediately the person goes to the Prime Minister and goes like, tell her that she needs to learn how to hold a hand properly. And then he looks at me and he says, oh, but he was like, why are you telling me this to me now if she's just there, you know? Like
exactly. Why don't people come to you straight away?
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, no, the person just, it was so awkward. The person just said that you shake the hand wrong. And I said, oh, tell me how you do it. And then he said, yeah, apparently you need to go like this, you know.
I didn't know there was a proper way of having a handshake, but okay.
Yeah, but she tried to explain me that if I don't do it like this, I seem to be like this, and all the weird
body language or whatever.
Yeah, but it's also what she said. It felt a bit like she questioned my place. Like she questioned the fact that I'm considered I'm a candidate.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't understand. So that's why she tries to give me the little comments and question the place where I am, you know.
Did you find your place in politics specifically?
I started finding my place now, last year and this year. Before was all trying to navigate my identity.
What is before and what is now? What is the difference?
What
is the point in time where you had this switch?
Obviously when George Floyd died, mm-hmm. and the racism debate started in Europe.
So the global Black Lives Matter movement in Europe changed your perspective about things, and you found your place through the event itself? Exactly.
I found my place because I could relate to so many people that would feel certain things in this period.
Mm-hmm.
And I related. And it was painful. It was really like when George Floyd died and I saw it, I didn't understand it. I found it very unfair. I mean, it's not the first time we see videos like this, but it was it was too much.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very unfair. And my mother always said, what does the black skin color do to the world? You know, like it makes no sense. All this discrimination towards black people or minorities in general makes no sense. And I remember that in Luxembourg, because I told you that, you know, that me being active I've been active very long.
Yeah.
I never got more attention than when the debate is about racism.
You got more attention when the debate was about racism.
Exactly. I got the attention, like the more attention when the debate was about racism.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel about that?
I felt like a token,
Okay.
Like a person you just call when it's about a certain topic and you don't consider her for other subjects.
Okay.
When it's about youth participation or about different things, you just don't call me, but you call other young people that have the same profile than me, but not me. Mm-hmm. But you have my number and you can just call me when it's about racism.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's important that I spoke up about it, but it was very hard because the backlash was very, very unexpected. Mm-hmm. I mean, I never expected this debate to even start in Luxembourg, and then it just started. Mm-hmm. And the media, some tried to cover it good, some clearly didn't. And then you see that we never talk about these things in Luxembourg. It's completely taboo, which makes no sense because these are part of, people of color, people belonging to minority groups are part of our society. Yeah. It's just normal to consider them and just hear them out, Mm-hmm. And this is when it changed. I don't know, when you just reach a certain level of I had it now,
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Now I'm powerful. Now I know also my words. I know that all this way to become a public figure in Luxembourg was hard. Mm-hmm. I used to be the person, when I had ideas, I would film myself in my little room, put it on Facebook, fear nothing, just see how it goes. I remember when I founded We Belong, Be Human SBL. Back then, it all started me doing a video, with my phone directed to me. I'm like, what is going on in the world? It's really not okay, I need people that join me in this project. Mm-hmm. And then people like Andy texted me and others. And I think this is also something I always wanted also other young people to try out, mm-hmm. to just dare to be different. Just try it, just be different. Mm-hmm. Don't do the mainstream. Don't be like everyone. Just go the other way. And I fell many times in this 10 last years, many times. But now I just, as I said, I had it. I know my word. I know also what I can, what I can't. Yeah. And now I just deliver. I just want to deliver. And if I fail, I fail. No problem.
How did you handle the backslashes, and did you have any consequences on your mental health by yourself? On your mental health, regarding that people had all your numbers, that you were always being called as the token, as you said. Mm. How did you feel, and how did it have any backlashes on your mental health specifically?
Yes, I struggle with anxiety since then.
Okay. Still?
Yes. As we speak today, I had an appointment at the doctor to talk about it, because yesterday, I was in Brussels because I also study there and mm-hmm. do my work there, and I have a parking, an underground parking, and I went to my parking yesterday, and I couldn't find my car, and I already feared before going to the car that I would not have my car there. It's something very weird that is happening at the moment with me. But I fear, I already project something. I already imagine myself a situation to get ready for it. And mm-hmm. I will come to answer your question because it will make sense. So I come to the garage. I go. I don't see my car. I think that my car got stolen. So I call the agency where I rent this parking, and I give them a lot of, I'm very mad. Yeah. I cry a lot on the phone, and then they go but have you, on what floor you parked? And I said, there's just one floor. There's just one floor. It's just one floor. I come in, you come in, I open the door of the garage, you come in, there's a little room with little cars. Well, whatever. He said, go back, open, and then look at the left, there's a button. And then when I touched the button, you see that everything moved, and you had an entrance to another room, and my car was there. So okay. I was not parked on this floor, the second floor, but I was actually parked on the ground. Mm-hmm. And I saw my car, but I reacted in a way that is absolutely not normal, it's too much. It's just too much. And I had this a lot, you know, when suddenly someone is telling you something you didn't expect, then you start fearing, like you don't know how to deal with it. And I have this because due to COVID, because of all this racism debate, everything is online, right? All the democracy we normally live in a festival, I don't know what, like when we have the discussions outside, is happening now online.
Yep.
And everyone can reach out to you. Everyone, they just put your name and they find you. So after I went on the national TV to talk about Black Lives Matter, I had many people telling me horrible stuff. Like from, if you're not happy, go back to your country, from far-right politicians that say that the only thing I do, they lie, they start lying. They say that on the market, I once attacked him. Yeah, that I once attacked him and I take my nationality to victimize myself or something like this. And then the second post is, to fight people like me, you need to come to my party and and join me, you know, to fight people like me. And then, a lot of comments. And I remember that I would also engage in the beginning into trying to justify everything. You know, like if someone would say, it's like this, I said, no, we say it's not all lives matter because Black Lives Matter is a movement, an independent movement that already existed. It has nothing really to do to say it's just black people. It's just a movement to, you know, like it's, I don't know, like I just tried to explain so much. And I got so tired from it. And it was lockdown. I saw no one. And then I was just...
Yeah, you're very lonely and you have all the stress which is on top of you. And then you sort of start getting anxiety for all the pressure that people have on, like, have expected pressure from people that expect stuff from you. And like, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't understand because I'm not in the position that you are in and I'm not getting thousands and thousands of messages. But how do you handle it now? Besides going to the doctor, do you have like certain routines or how do you cope with that stress?
I speak up about it.
Okay.
It really helps. Since I speak up about it, since I just go like, I just call them out, my messenger is just quiet, like no one is texting.
Okay.
Really.
I guess that's a good thing.
It's amazing. You know, also with the new podcast I'm doing, it's such a sensitive topic that I'm touching. Nothing, no hate, nothing.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, like we all wish to not have hate at all and just do our thing because we are pursuing our passion and we're pursuing it not for us, we're pursuing it to leave a message in the world.
Yeah.
I have a question. What is more challenging for you? Being a woman, being young, or being black?
It's a hard one because I think that the three, it's like a mix of the three.
And I'm sorry, I said black, but person of color. I mean, I don't want to discriminate anyone or whatever. I don't know how you say that. I mean, for me, it's a normal thing, but yeah.
No. I mean, it's good. It's correct also. But for me, I think it's the three of them together, you know? This is also like at the recent debates we had on International Women's Day. I missed media that says, yes, there are women that are target of hate because they are in politics or they are young, but actually there are also women belonging to minority groups that are target of hate because they are young and women, but also target of racism because they're not a white person. And I miss this. Sometimes I just feel like I'm left out, like I'm just an outsider. But definitely, I think that the little plus that makes it even harder is the fact that I'm a person of color and that I'm like one of the only ones that does what I'm doing, that is in these fields, that is mostly white men, you know. In politics, I'm sorry to say, it's the fact. We have always the same people sitting there. They never really change. I don't understand. And it also doesn't reflect our society at all. Not even a little bit. Like, it's not a little bit representative of the Luxembourg society.
Yeah.
And we just normalized it. They normalized it. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, you're there to change it, right?
Yeah, definitely, yes. So, yeah, person of color, it's challenging. If you're the first one, you go to the, I remember that someone once in politics told me, Jana, after all this racism debate, Disney films started questioning their different characters, and some of them just changed, because they realized this is a bit discriminatory towards this minority, or this is just racist. And this one politician came to me and said, I don't understand all this debate, Jana. Back in the days, people like you were also not accepted. On the table. But he meant women. He said, not in the sense not accepted, but I think he meant more, they were not on the table. Women were just not in politics. Today, women are in politics, And then at the little end, he says, we also accepted you, right? And I'm like, what? First of all, I never asked you to give you my opinion, because I actually was just drinking coffee. It was after a meeting. I just wanted to drink my coffee in peace and go home. But I had to experience aggressions all the time. Like, I'd never ask for it, but it's just someone that comes to tell me something. And I said, no, it's not because you accepted me that I'm here. It's because I'm elected. That's why I am sitting here, And he was like, it's not meant bad. I don't care. I said, I said, I don't care that it's not meant bad. It hurts very much. And I just don't take this anymore. I just want to be respected as much as everyone is being respected in this room. Again.
Yep. And you're expressing your opinion, and by expressing your opinion, how you feel, the people are also able to reevaluate how they say things to other people. So if that was the first or X number of times they said that to a person of color or to a female person of color, next time, because you spoke out, they will know how to speak and how to transmit a message to someone else. And so I think that's a great thing.
This I would advise to everyone to do,
To speak up.
Yes. It's very important that people from civil society, they speak up about their experience. Otherwise, we don't change policies. The changements of policies happens normally bottom up, It's by we don't have a culture of grassroots here in Luxembourg, but normally, like, if you experience is being considered while doing laws.
Okay.
If there are the platforms like now with what lived, where people have a space to share all these things, it will influence policy making, because people that do the laws, they always get informed. They have to. And they will see, these people exist. But if you don't give them any space, we don't hear them. So yes, this I really advise everyone to just say, if something hurts you, just say, listen, this is not the case. And I don't want to sound perfect, I already made one mistake. I took gender classes because I don't want to assume that when I see a guy that he has a girlfriend, this is the things that we have to learn, unlearn. So I took these classes. I learned about how it feels for someone that identifies as a woman but has to go to a toilet for men, because I learned from their experience. I went to Switzerland to do this. But it happened to me that one time, not that long ago, I saw these are my friends today, two of my friends that back then I didn't really know, but they were getting along very good. And out of the sleep I said, so are you dating? But it was a girl and a guy. But in the same room and the same night, the girl was dating a girl, like this, it is her girlfriend. And she took it I saw, I never, this stupid, it's clearly, really, I did a mistake. I was stupid back then, really. And I know it, and I acknowledge it. And I saw how she reacts. You see that she was trying to justify, because you see that she has experienced this already. And she's tired of it. And I was like, Jana, why is it slipping out of your, why did it just come out? And we need to be aware of our biases. This is why I try to do with people. Be aware of your bias.
Exactly.
You know, just be aware, admit it.
Yeah, it's tricky. Biases come from such a subconscious place that we are not aware of, and we need to constantly remind ourselves that we have them, and we need to acknowledge that we have them. And it's by speaking up and by other people sharing how they are and how their feelings are, that we get to actually see that our biases are not just an imaginary thing that we have in our heads, but they're really true. In terms of you speaking out and you feeling sort of a minority in the group in politics, do you feel that, like, as a minority in politics, I don't say if minority is the right words to say it, but do you feel like that your voice is loud enough to make up for all the voices that are missing?
No, it's not. And this is also why now my aim is to really create spaces for these people and show them opportunities to also enter these fields. It's not loud enough. I represent not the experiences of all persons of color, because you need to know because I'm light-skinned and my father is white, Luxembourgish, I also have privilege. And I acknowledge this. And I'm clearly not, it's not enough. And this is also why I need to move now. It's going to be hard now, because I decided to really address these issues. This I will do. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. Many people will turn their back to me. But I know why I do it for. It's really not for me. And I also, you know what I dream of? Like, for me, it's so important that a mini Jana, and I say mini Jana because, like, you understand what I mean with it.
Yeah, the young Jana, one.
Yeah. That has someone to look up to in Luxembourg. That doesn't have to be Michelle Obama, you know?
Okay.
You know, like, to just say...
You don't have to go to America, you know? You can stay in Luxembourg.
You can stay here. You can look up to someone that looks like you in Luxembourg because it's possible. You know? It's really possible. This is what I dream of, and this is what I'm fighting for.
I absolutely admire that.
No.
What are your... How do I say that? What are your core values? What are the things that you really stand for? And what are the things that really motivate you? I feel like we've touched a little bit on it. But what are the things that really, like, make you, I want to fight for that? And I'm going to do everything I can in order to do that.
I had a difficult youth, you know. I never liked myself very much. I was not self-confident. I always knew, like, I always tried hard to be part of a group. And I always changed also a lot to be part of the group. Let me give you an example.
Go for it.
Like, if someone, I remember, like, that one day someone judged another person by her appearance. And I remember that I said, you are right. But, you know. So
the other person judged another person by their experience, and you agreed on that. Appearance, and you agreed on that comment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I realized this is not me. Because, you know, like, when, I don't know, maybe you know this feeling or you have seen it, but, you know, like, when we enter high school, you always have, like, immediately groups that form themselves.
Yes.
And the minority groups come together, and, you know, the pretty blonde girls with blue eyes and very expensive clothes, they go together. And then you have these groups that form themselves, right?
Yes.
And I try to fit in everywhere.
Okay.
I also tried to fit in this group that actually never accepted me from the beginning on, because I just didn't look like this. And I have experienced also a lot of discrimination in school, like a lot. I really thought it was unfair that someone that was sitting in front of me could just ask in an exam, "Can you help me?" And then the person would get help. But when I ask, "No, what did I do? Like, what did I do wrong to not get help?" I'm studying hard. Like, I always went. for the good grades, like it makes no sense that you don't help me. So I have experienced all these things. Or people in high school just call you the N-word. No one cares about it. Ha ha, N-word, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
No one cares. No one. And now we have a society when we have a blogger or a YouTuber that makes a mistake, it becomes a huge thing.
Yeah.
But when young girls of color, and I know what I'm talking about because one of my first guests at the podcast that lived, she said it in the show.
Yeah.
She experiences traumatic stuff there. No one cares. This is not possible. So this is what motivated me. And also my brother, of course, my brother is my ultimate motivation. I want to do it for him. Like I'm also fighting for him, step by step.
You mentioned that Xavier Bettel, the Prime Minister. Damn, what did I say there? One minister. Prime Minister is your mentor. How does that feel? Or is he like really your mentor, or is he like your mentor from the far?
No. I would not call him mentor if it's not really close, how it feels. But it feels...
What did you learn from him or whatever? Like, I would love to have him on the podcast at some point in my life.
Yeah, but you can.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, he's sort of an inspiration for me as well, because he has gone through his experiences and he had to also find his place in politics. And I think he's doing the best he can.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's very authentic and also very much has a lot of passion. I mean, I also have other mentors because I always like to have also mentors that are a bit like me, like that also are persons of color that I can look up to, also women. I think that's very important. But he's one of my mentors. And what I learned from him is he's very unique. He's really not faking it. I can really tell I know it, He's not faking it. And I take a lot of, I really ask stuff. Because when I feel like people are treating me unjust. Okay. I need sometimes someone to say that this is not representative of everyone, This is just this little experience that you had, and it's fine, and you can move on. And also, I have similarities also with him, the sense that he also started very young. At this age of 16, he went to the mayor and said, "Yeah, I think we should change this in the city and this in the city." He already had this also at a very young age, and. It's very simple. I mean, I already went also during the campaign, to him, to do barbecue, and he went shopping. Like, it was all around. And I remember that he had still tomato mozzarella, and he had leftovers, but he couldn't keep them because he had to travel still. So he just took a plastic bag and he said, "Jana, I will give you just everything, in the plastic bag." I said, "It's super hot. I'm still supposed to still go there. It will stay in my car. I don't care." And he just puts it in the plastic bag, all dirty, doesn't care. He just closes it and he says, "Take it, Just take it out of this place." And also,
so he's just a normal person like everyone else.
Yes. Also, you go to his place and he proudly shows, "Look, I took a picture with Michelle Obama and Barack Obama," because he knows he knows that this will give me that's cool because, I look up to these people and it's super cool. It's really nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Why do people have such a bad impression about politics? And is it really that ugly? And I have a friend who added one note to that question. Did you have to sell your soul?
So when I started it, I didn't know how politics,
how it worked, the whole system.
Had no idea. I just came in because I was genuinely interested by politics,
Yeah.
Then I saw it from inside, and of course it's a bit dirty. I mean, the recent news, it's going it's going wild. But I don't like when people say because especially in Luxembourg, I don't like politicians always say to everyone, but this is politics. But I don't get it, because this creates this chilling effect, like if you tell that this is politics, you will not have young people that will enter it, because from the outside it looks horrible, So people are like, I'm not going to do this. Like, why would I do this? Because we think that in politics, you can just disrespect each other. I mean, in my council, I face also certain things that are really not nice. I have cried already in the council, and no one cared. And I just realized that there's a difference between being not someone's opinion and just being disrespectful to someone for reasons that are like not objective. I think that the respect has to be there, but if you start becoming personal and everything, it's going to be problematic. No, I didn't have to sell my soul. I just had to navigate my identity. It was hard for me to know, am I Luxembourgish, because people question this, right? Because I always identify.
Self-doubt.
Yeah, I identify as a Luxembourgish person because for me, Luxembourgish means a nationality, and I take the nationality from my father. That is Luxembourgish. So for me, I identify as Luxembourgish, but then you get questions, but no, where are you really from? I mean, where are you really from? I said, Steinsel. No, really from. I said, okay, you mean my roots. Okay. So then you need to explain, and this makes you tired, Whatever. I had to navigate this, but I realized that it's on me to decide who I am. It can also change. I can also feel, for example, 1 year very much Luxembourgish, and the next year I feel Togolese, This is just my choice. I just decide this, not anyone else. So not selling my soul, just a long way to navigate my identity, a very long way. But now, no, I'm not selling. I mean, like I always say, politics is not a job. Like, it's a mandate. If one day I will not like what I do anymore there, I go. I just find a job, Like, it's so simple. Like, I'm not gonna do something I don't like. And politics is very tiring.
Yeah.
Like, you really have to be there, to be present, to...
What is one thing that you learned that has really struck from being involved in politics, being involved in activism? What is the one lesson that you really learned and that you think would benefit a lot of people that would like to have a voice in whatever domain it is in, even if that is politics?
I always justified, because I'm also that young, I always justified my mistakes. And if I would come late somewhere, I would say, I'm late because. But now I changed this, because I realized that the people around me would not do this. They just are late, and then they say, so thank you for your patience. And this is something I advise. If you want, especially at a young age, if you reach this level, like if you have a mandate also, like the ones around you, you have the same position. So everyone should be treated the same. Yeah. So when I'm late, I'm saying, thank you for your patience. If someone screams at me because I used the word old, I don't apologize for it, but I just say, thank you for the feedback. I will consider it next time. And all these things, if I can't come to the meeting, I don't need to say why. I just say I can't come, because it's my life. Yeah, and if you do this, you get to respect quite quickly.
Yeah, you bring up a higher status in a sense, right? Because you don't justify yourself. And whenever you are justifying yourself, there is a sense of lowering your status as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is something I advise. I really do.
What would you say? What advice would you give to people, or what can we do in order to make or to bring people, younger generations, more into politics, engage with politics on a younger age group? That English.
I think even if it's politics or just activism, or I think that it's important for us, like us that are active in these fields, to open doors and start thinking of mentoring others. If you have people around you that you believe in, you can coach them. This is what I do. I train certain girls to learn how to hold speeches. I send them to my meetings that I can have. They assist me, they give me the feedback. Then we have, we talk about it. So they understand. Don't.
That's great.
Yeah, this is something that I missed because I really had to fall. Like I came in, I was like, whoop, I'm in it. I think it's better and also better for one's mental health to get trained. Really. Yeah. So this is
So
what I
to
would
get
advise.
trained and then get into politics.
Yeah, especially politics. I would get trained for it.
As a last question, I have, because you are in politics, and if you had to write any law that every single person on earth would have to follow, that can be whatever kind of law that is, on the mental health wise, on treating people, on how to, I don't know, drive their cars, whatever that law that is, what law would you want people to follow? And you only have one.
Yeah. To stop questioning people's experiences.
Okay, can you elaborate on that?
When someone comes to you and says, I have experienced discrimination because I went through this and this and this, don't say, are you sure? Don't say, are you not exaggerating? Because if someone tells you this, they know what they tell you. Even if they are lying, it's not your problem. Just accept it, just accept what someone tells you. Stop questioning. This is something really...
I love that. I absolutely love that. Jana, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you being here. I've looked forward to have you, and I'm super grateful for your time.
Thank you.